Good morning and welcome to Clarity Crafts. My name is Barbara Gray from Clarity here in the UK, and today's a very exciting day because we're launching a completely new online course. So let's find our friends, let's see if they can find us first, and then we'll get cracking. Dear Jane Telford and Gilly are in the room with yourselves, and they will be keeping you company, answering your questions. If you have any questions, then don't hesitate to ask, and Jane and Gilly will feed them through to myself. And other than that, yeah, happy days. The sun is shining. It's Friday. The sound is great, says Gilly. Thank you very much. And we're good to go. So we're just going to let some friends find us, and then I'll tell you all about this exciting new course. I mentioned it last night in the shack, and plenty of you have already enrolled, and for that I'm very grateful. Thank you. A lot of work's gone into this, a lot of thought, and I think it's an exciting development. Is it a foundation course? Julie and I were talking about it earlier, and even though we haven't called it one, I guess it is really. But it's up to you to decide whether you consider it to be a foundation course or not. It's certainly laying the foundations for great card making skills. So let's have a look. Clarity. Just in case you don't know who we are and you're just scrolling through the internet and then you find us, we are a company based in Kent in the southeast of England. We are a design company primarily for crafting materials. Most of you know that, but I need to tell myself this, okay? We conceptualize, we design, and then we manufacture. What do we manufacture? Well, we manufacture stamps. That was our core, that was our original idea, wasn't it? Stamps. That's why we're called Clarity Stamp Limited. We manufacture and design stencils, of course, and groovy plates because we own Pergamano now. So we developed a really cool parchment system, and and we've been going for over 30 years. At the core of what we do is our community. Whether we hung out to on Thursday evenings or Monday mornings or Tuesdays in the shack, whether we get together at retreats and open days, the community behind Clarity or within Clarity kind of underpins everything we do. Yeah. And I suppose now we're moving into a new phase, if you like, which is these online courses. Make sense? If you want to get in touch with the office in a moment, then let me just bring up the number. There we go. So we're an online company, and we have a vast design selection. If you go to our website, you'll be impressed. There's a beautiful, and we're always coming up with new things, but a lot of what we do is timeless. So having said all that, let's turn our attention to our online courses. Now, we developed a platform. It's called The Circle, right? We call it The Circle. It's got nothing to do with Facebook or YouTube. It's an exclusive platform, especially just for our online courses. So you might remember a few months back, I started a couple of really cool paper collage workshops, and we did the lighthouse, we did the viaduct, and we spent a happy Saturday afternoon. A lot of people all over the world joined us, which is one of the reasons why the online workshops, why these are an option now, because it means that people from everywhere in the world, whether Australia, Europe, the States, Canada, we all converge online, which is one of the big benefits of the internet, isn't it? And so we started with our collage workshops, and they're still available. That we always make a pre-record, which is important. So if you can't attend the live session, it's important for you to know this. If you, for example, can't attend one of the live sessions that we're going to do in these 1, 2, 3 sessions, it's not a problem, because in the circle there is a pre-record. It will all have been pre-recorded, and you'll also have access to the live, the banter with the community where everybody's chatting. So, and just in case you're wondering, there's not a time limit on this. So once you enroll in one of these courses, whether it's the paper collage courses, or the Groovy course, or my new course now, you've got the keys for life. You've got access to that room within the circle for as long as you need it. Okay, so you can go back time and time and time again, and look again, and check it. So if you miss the live, it doesn't matter. There's a pre-record, and the live is available too. Okay, so let me see. We started with our collage courses. Hands up, who did the collage courses with me? There were well over 100 people attended that course, and it was really, really enjoyable. And it also served a great purpose, because it enabled us to tweak the circle, make sure it works. You see, in the circle, there's a gallery, there's a room, there's a chat room, you know, where experts hold your hand. You can ask questions. We have question and answer sessions. That's all going on all the time. So it's like you're paying to enter a premium, if you like. There's a premium area exclusive to you. Now, let me see. A couple of weeks ago, we started the foundation course, the Groovy 1, 2, 3. We're midstream. We've got the third one to go next Wednesday. It's been exceptionally well received. Our Louise and Paul have headed that one up, and it's really been well received indeed. So, so that's great. And now it's my turn. And so I had a good think about this, and I thought, well, I don't want to dive in midstream. I think I'm going to take it back to the beginning. You know, let's start at the very beginning. In my heart, I'm a stamper. And you know, people sometimes skim over stamps and think that it's just easy. Well, it's a skill set, right? And you can stamp, and then you can stamp consistently well. You understand what I mean? So the object of this course is to improve your stamping, whoever you are, whether you're starting. This is a great way, if you were thinking of starting stamping as a pastime. You know, it was for a very long time in the paper craft world, it was the most popular pastime. And I think it still is, actually. Okay, so stamping is a skill set, and that's what we're going to deal with. And then, of course, there's landscaping. So that's really what I'm well known for. Over the last 30 years, many of you will remember me wielding a brayer at the exhibitions with torn bits of paper and cut out moons and just rolling away. So that's another thing that I want to kind of combine now, okay? Because of course we've got some beautiful masks that do the job brilliantly for us. And I thought this would be a great kind of foundation course for improving your stamping, and dealing with color combination, with composition, with layout. And, you know, apart from all of that, it's a community. Remember I said the community at Clarity underpins everything we do. So it's a brilliant opportunity to hang out with a bunch of like-minded people wherever you are in the world, and be creative and have some fun along the way and learn loads. So that's really what this course is about. And I'm going to go into detail now about where do you sign up? What does it cost? Because that's really what we want to know. So let's just take a look at the actual cost and where to sign up. So if you look at the screen right now, what you've got there, in fact, let me go to a larger screen, because then you can see better what we're doing. Right, so if you look at the screen here, you'll see the item code is 60222. So that's what you're looking for online, or you can call Sue downstairs and she'll help you. So you can go to our website at claritycrafts.com, or you can call 01732 868 215. And that will get you through to our office here, and you can talk through your requests with Sue. Don't do that quite yet, because there are other things I want to show you, how it works and what we're going to be using, etc. So, like I say, kind, caring community is at the core of Clarity, and this is just a great opportunity to get good at something really lovely, hone your skills, and it's a building thing as well, because it will go on to it will travel onto other things. I'm a big believer in getting the foundations right. So let's get good at stamping, and let's learn loads about landscaping, and then we can move into other worlds, other territories. Now, let me just go back to the online course. So if you're ordering, it's £60. There's no discount. There's no club discount on this. There is club discount, and an additional 10% discount once you enroll on any products that you buy. I'll go back to that in a moment. I'll show you that. So once you enroll, what you get once you sign up, or you buy the product, if you like, for £60, the first thing we're going to do is send you this little booklet that I wrote. So if I show you the booklet, then we can see more accurately what's actually coming up. You can see here we're going to be making 5 cards, and this will span, it's in May. So what are we doing, and when are we doing it, and where are we doing it? Right, Wednesday the 7th of May, 1 to 3, the 14th of May, and the 21st of May. Those are the live sessions. Now, I've teed them up from 1 till 3 in the afternoon, because 1 till 3 in the afternoon is perfect for friends in the States as well. They can remember, though, there's always a pre-record. You can always catch up later. But we will be getting together for our live session in the afternoon on those Wednesdays. Now, if you know me but a little, you can rest assured I'm not famous for finishing on time. So that was why I thought, ideally 2 hours is great, but you do know that it could go on for half an hour if I get excited, okay? So just so you know, officially it's from 1 o'clock until 3 o'clock, or 1300 hours until 1500 hours. But you know, there may be a couple of the days, especially the third session, where we may get carried away. It's not my intention to plow through the skills, but really take them and kind of dissect it and look again and try again. You know, I always say one's for test and one's for best. You know, this is where we get together and we learn how to ink up, how to apply, really get into the stamping side, the stamping aspect of our card making, coupled with the landscaping. Right, so what are we going to do? Well, let's go back to that booklet, and you'll see here. Now we know when it is, we know what it costs, right? I've just mentioned the £60. That's for all 3 sessions. And then what are we going to get? Right, well, there's a little introduction I've told you what we're going to be using. We'll go back to that in a moment. As we go through here, there's the exclusive 10% discount that will be, as I say, it's exclusive to anybody that enrolls. There is a tick list. So I've put together a list of all the things that we're going to be actually using during the 3 weeks. So I deliberately picked a subject matter that many of you have already invested in, so you don't have that added cost. In addition to that, of course, if you've got other tree stamps, for example, then use what you've already got if you don't want to invest in these ones. I'll show you what we're going to use in a minute, but don't feel just because you haven't got the exact stamps that you're not going to learn loads, because it doesn't work like that. You know, same with the ink pads. On the back of the booklet, I wrote a list of all the ink pads that I reached for, right? That doesn't mean that you can't use other ink pads, similar ink pads, you know, something that's that you've got in your stash, you know. So don't feel that you've got to spend hundreds of pounds getting everything just to be able to attend the course. No, look in your stash, go to the downloadable printout of everything I'm going to use, decide what you've got, what you need, what you could replace. You know, I would get a tray, like a dining, you know, kitchen tray or a box, and just put in all the things that are on the list and use this as a kind of a tick list. You know, then you've got everything there. I've done courses myself online, and that's exactly what I've done is I've gone to where they've given me a download of the ingredients, and then I've gone round my stash and I've seen if I've got anything similar, and if I haven't, then I've invested in it. And then that way I know I can participate in the course without worry, and I've got what I need. Make sense? Now, let me go back to the book again. Let's check. So you've got your download. Let's have a sip of coffee. Come on, I'm among friends here. Now, why am I so nervous? I've only been doing this for about 33 years. I know why. It's because we always get together in the shack, don't we? And it's very different, okay, when you're charging money for an online course. I know this from when we did the collage. I was just as nervous then too. But I'm sure it will be brilliant. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. It's you know, I'm a teacher. There you go. I'm a teacher. It'll be all right. You can trust me. Now let's have a look. We've got the intro, we've got the download. So we've got that, and there is actually on the website, and it's already available. There's actually a page dedicated to this course. Now, what I would suggest though is that you wait to get your unique code, because then you'll automatically, as soon as you enroll in the course, you'll get a discount code, and then that discount code will automatically it won't automatically do. You have to apply the discount code, but you'll get an additional 10% off any products that we're using that's on that page. So that would be a nice little, once you've worked out what you need, what you've got, and what you fancy, then you've got the discount code from the book, and then jobs are good and off you go. Right. Now, then what I did, so you've got everything that you need to know in the book. Yeah, you don't have to take notes here. It's all written out for you. And then what I've done is I've gone through a proper teaching plan, and you've got a picture so you know what we're trying to do. You've got the ingredients list for the particular card we're doing. See, then day 2, I'll just put that to the side because that's interesting. Day 2, there's the card. We're going to complete 2 cards on day 2. So there's one ingredients list, And then day 2, there's a third card. All of the cards you'll see here now, we're moving into the realm of reflection, stamping, and it's not just a simple question of flipping the deer around because you'd be facing in the wrong direction, etc. Trust me on that, right? So it's a trick, it's a technique. I'm going to show you how to do reflection stamping with the same stamp, things like that. Loads of tricks and tips, how to make clouds, and I can assure you that these cards are vehicles. So in other words, we're going to take the card as our vehicle, but we may take a little side turning. We may go off piste, so to speak, and learn something else. And I might say, oh, by the way, while we're trying this, how about I show you how this works? So I'm going to try and pack as much knowledge, as many tricks and tips into these 3 afternoon sessions, or these 3 arty sessions as I can, okay? But this forms the basis. So then we've got our day 2. Now we move on to day 3. This is the 3rd day. And what we're going to do, let me explain this. What we do is we do day 1. We really get to grips with day 1. Then in day 2, when the 2nd week, we reinforce what we learned in day 1, right? So we reinforce what we learned in day 1. I think I'm a big believer as a teacher in doing that, that I'm not saying you repeat it, but you kind of have another go at it, have another run at it a week later. Interesting how the mind lets it all settle down, and then you go again a week later, and then you add something else to it. And then the 3rd week, we go again. We revisit, we reinforce, and then we add something else to it. And then the last project, and this is we're building towards the last project, although all of them are lovely, right? But it'll be lovely to do. So this is day 2. That's day 2, reflections. Then day 3, okay. Now day 3 starts to change a little bit. Yeah, the stamping, but it's those backgrounds now. So now we're moving into that realm of gel plate, bow wob transfer. In effect, what these are, and you've often seen me do them. It's a Sam Crow and myself have developed this. It's come up really well now. Okay, but what we're going to do is show you how to get them so they're not hit and miss, because a lot of us are getting hit and miss ones. So this time we're going to tackle that, and it's kind of dipping our toe in the gel plate. It's actually it's laser transfer, okay? It's laser print transfer. And so we call it magic, we call it bow wallpapers, but let's just go down that road on day 3. So yeah, we're stamping. By this time, the stamping will be second nature to you. And then the very last project, this is where we take everything that we've learned over the last 3 days and we go right from the start. So we've got layout, we've got reflections, we've got the background, we've got the landscapes, we're using everything all in one project. Okay, there we are. And that comprises the 3 sessions. So there's quite a lot there, 5 cards in total, but like I say, they're like vehicles. Right, now let me just see. I need to make sure. Let me show you the complete set. Right, and in the meantime, I also want to show you what you're going to get. So you can see it says here, included in this course booklet. So what am I sending you so that you can already get started? You understand? So when you get your book, you're also going to get this little pack. It's already pre-packed for you, and it doesn't include all the masks or all the toppers, right? Because we're going to be working with toppers as well. When we're concentrating on the stamping, we're not going to go through all the rigmarole of making a background. We're going to use a pre-printed background, and then we're going to focus on the stamping. Otherwise, it's just too much, okay? So, but that's all right, because you treat yourself to a pack of those. let me show you what we're going to send you, included in this course booklet. So what you'll see here is that we're going to give you the mask for the first, we're going to give you the mask for the first project, for day one. So you can see here, this is lovely, right? These are just for the backs and for the insides and just for fun using tiny stamps. But you'll see here, you're getting that mask, which is the one that we're going to use in the first card. And then you're going to get these pre-printed backgrounds so that you've got some practice. You've got 4 of those and a mask. And then we've also sent you the little toppers of the same ones. So really nice, actually. And that's included in the course fee, of course. So when we send you the booklet, that will be included. Right. How are we doing? Everything okay? Now let's have a look. I'm ticking some mental boxes in my head here. What we need to look at now is what we're going to use, and you can start on your tick box. So the first thing I want to do is look at the stamps, if that's okay, and then we'll take it from there. So if I were to show you the full set of stamps, right, let's take a look at those, and you'll see many of you will be very familiar with these stamps. So that entire set, for example, there, the Treescapes A6 Square Stamp and Mask Complete Collection. So what, in case you're not familiar with that, each set of those stamps comes with a mask as well. So if I'm just going to come to the front, I'm going to hop about a bit now just to show you the different sets. So let's say, for example, let me just pop that. I'm pretty sure, bear with me a second, I've got the Treescapes. There it is. So there's the product code 12146 for this is for all of them. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in total, 7 sets of stamps and masks. Now, when I say masks, let's just look at the first one and you'll understand. So here, for example, is one set on its own. So you've got this is a printed version of the stamps. So that's the set. We call this the South Downs. These are the stamps, exactly like that. And here's the key. In the back of each set, we've also got the masks. And so that means that even though we've sent you that mask, now you've got 2 of those if you buy that set. If I show you the card that we're going to make, the actual card, you'll see I'm going to teach you the stamping, how to use the stamps. Now it's interesting because these stamps come from a different set. How to put foliage on the tree. So now we've got seasons, right? How to stamp shadows, how to do drop shadows, how to blend colors. So now we're going to use the mask for the backdrop, how to create the moon behind the tree, how to make little. There's so much going on here. How to use, these are great as well. So these tiny, tiny little images. This was in our perspective set. I'm bringing in another set now. If I show you this set, this is one of the this is just really interesting. So you'll see here in the first one, I used that tiny cottage. Now that's not the smallest one. There's an even smaller cottage. It's all about perspective. It's all a matter of perspective. So I'll show you how to get a beautiful reflection with this bird. These trees, how to use these trees to make hedgerows, for example. So this one is also part of that package. I actually reached for this particular set of stamps a lot because I really love these trees. Okay, so that's worth bearing that in mind. Okay, we're just going to take a look at the different stamp sets. That one's actually, I'll show you that one. If you want to go for the individual ones, although the savings is obviously in that big bundle on the side there, this individual set that also comes with the mask, but this one comes with a different mask. This is the Hilltop mask, which we don't use in the 5. We're not using that one in the 5 cards, but it's a fabulous mask because it really shows you the perspective. Look, so there's a card that I did on another occasion, and it shows you the reflections, the perspective, tiny trees, how to position them, how to get a reflection of the eagle. Yeah. Okay, so that's just another set of stamps, 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, if you wanted to go for the individual one. We probably, let me put it to you like this, with the 5 cards that we're going to do, just in case you were wondering, we're actually going to use 6 out of the 7 stamp sets. And Jilly pointed out earlier that the 7th one is the one that's free. So it's interesting, ironic really. But let's take another look at the stamps. So that's the first one, and that's the set that we're going to use. Okay, so that's that card. Let's go to the next one. I'm going to show you what we're doing exactly, because you see, we're going to work on the first day, we're going to work on the stamping, on making it really clean and crisp, how to use ink pads so that your stamping's not blotchy. I've shown you 100 times when I've been selling you an ink pad or selling you a stamp set. Now we're just going to focus 100% on how to get it perfect. You know, let's just increase your ability to stamp and create landscapes and get the shadow in the right place and use masking tape to great effect. Yeah, let's look at the second one. This is great. This is really lovely. So this one here, it's got the little sheep. Do you remember the little sheep? Let's take a look at this one. So this is the meadow, and we're going to use the meadow. And this is one where we're going to focus on getting perspective. Now, we may or may not, I can't even remember, because I know in here, I'll show you exactly, because we're not always going to make the background. On this one, you'll see, I'm going to explain something here because it's important. Using a mask, we're going to do the background. Day 2, using a mask, we're going to do the background. That means we're going to focus. You see, I told you about reinforcing. We're going to blend the colors. We're going to use the mask that's included in this set. Yeah. Using a mask, stamping over the top. Right. So you want to get, once you've spent half an hour making that beautiful background, don't you want to get the stamping right? Exactly. So on this, but then on the same day, using a print. So at this point, we're going to take one of those postcard prints that's included in the set, you see, because we want to concentrate on how to do the reverse stamping. And the reverse stamping, what you need to do that, and I'm going to tell you now, the bijou backdrop, any backdrop stamp will help you. When I say backdrop stamp, you know the backdrop stamps that we sell, but the bijou backdrop, it's big enough to do what we want it to. You don't have to buy the mat, just the bijou stamp. If you've got a backdrop stamp, that will do the job nicely, sir. Okay. But I just wanted to explain. This one says using a print. Now in day 3, again, we're going to use a print for the background of the actual landscape, because we want to focus on that bow warp, that transfer printing trick, right? But then on day 3, that's when we roll our sleeves up and we say, right, and now we're going to take it from the top. We're going to use a mask to do the background. We're going to do the background with the gel plate. You see, this is where we take everything that we've learned and we apply it to that card. So it's a thought through course. And I'm just explaining at this point, we're still using the mask. We're reinforcing it. Okay, there's the mask and there are the stamps. Okay, next up, right? So that's day 2. And now the next one is day 3. And this is where I was saying, I got ahead of myself here, but we're going to use this set now, the deer, the stag. And I'm going to show you how to make reflections. But instead of spending the time doing the background again, the thing is you can, if you want to, you can prepare it, because if you want to practice your backdrops, you see, you can always get extra masks. And remember, if you've bought the stamp set, then the mask is in the background anyway, it's here. So if you wanted to prep that, we're just not going to do it in time together, in real time. I'm going to reach for one of my toppers. Well, in fact, we sent it to you anyway. It's in here, okay? And then we're gonna just focus on stamping, on second generation stamping, on minute stamping, etc., etc. So it's all about scene building, really, isn't it? Landscaping. So that's day 2. Okay, there are 3 days in total. I think you get quite a lot of bang for your buck, really. So let's just pop that one back. That one goes there. That's my original. I've got to hang on to my originals. Now we're going to day 3. Okay, so day 3, again, up we go. Now, day 3, the first project we're going to do, we're going to the desert. That's this one. Nobody is you. That is your power. I love that. And we're going to use the Wild West. And isn't that appropriate? So there we go, the Wild West. Beautiful, beautiful Wild West stamps. It comes with a mask, but we're going to use the pre-printed one for this, because we're concentrating on the papers. And what you need to do the papers is the BOWOB papers. So many of you, see, I've deliberately gone with things that you already have, okay? I know that a lot of you already have a lot of this stash. So if I were to take this now, right, we've got BOWOB papers here, set 1 and 2, the Duo 31519. Now, all of this is in that book that we're talking about. Here we have a new set. Again, laser transfer trick, 31778. Now, this one, of course, goes to the last set. So I'm coming over here now. This is the first one of day 3. Okay, then the last set is this particular one. Right, now let's have a look. So we're going to be using this tree and this, but we're going to be using the mask, and we're going to revise everything that we've done over the 3 days. We're going to blend color. We're going to consider color. We're going to do layout, all those things, right? Now, when I was making this particular card for the course, I really like the elephant, right? Let me show you this. So I really love the elephant. But then I thought, I don't want to put the elephant in with a giraffe. I want a family of elephants, because this is about community. So then I spoke to Jazz and I said, is there any way that we could make a little set of stamps? Because everybody loves an elephant, right? And she said, yes, sir. And so we made a set of little elephant stamps. And the number for the elephant stamps is 12145. And there they are. Absolutely beautiful. Don't need a mask for this one. You just need the silhouette elephant stamps. And you can see that they are, so you've got little ones, you can make an elephant train, you could have them all facing in the same direction, you can have them kissing. Do you see? So I just had to, and that's the thing, you see, friends, because we conceptualize, it's what I said at the beginning, we conceptualize, we design, and we make in-house. So I can go to Jazz, who's just outside this studio, and I can say, do you know what? I really think we could do with a set of elephants to do for the online course. And then I say, I want them facing each other. I want the little tail so that the trunk will hold the tail, etc. She goes, leave it with me. And then I go back an hour later and I say, what if this and that? And yep, leave it with me. And she does that. And then it goes downstairs to Laurent. He makes the prototype. I have a look. We check it. It's good to go. You know, what a brilliant little setup we have. And so again, right, we created a little set of elephants just because it's new and it's lovely. Family means everything. We stick together. I'll never forget you. I love you. Well, there you go. What else can I say? Right? But we're going to combine that with the Bowwobs, the new sentiment papers, landscaping, using the same colours in the back and the front. There's so much here, you know, and it's about consistency. It's about being able to make this caliber of card. That's why we're doing the course, you know. But of course, the elephant that's in the Savannah set, he's a different size. Okay, so you're not getting the same stamp twice. And if you didn't want to buy the family of elephants, that's not a problem. There's an elephant there anyway. And you could just create your own design, put the eagle in or the vulture and the giraffe, use a different tree. I mean, there's so much flexibility here, you know. My job, as I see it, for this course is to present skill sets. Now, which stamps you use to practice with is entirely up to you. But of course, I'm going to present the designs that I used because that's what makes this art. So there's a fine balance there between the two. Now, let me just take that elephant shot. There you go. Let me just put that on there. That just gives me a chance to regroup for a minute and put all my cards back where they belong. And then we can take a look at a few other little bits and pieces. And then I'm pretty sure I've covered things. Now, there's the elephant set that we were talking about. So let's just regroup and start again. There are a couple of other little products. Of course, it's all listed on that list, but I know that the elephants will be popular because they're new and they're lovely. Just bear with me. Somebody's trying to send me a message. No, I think we're good. Let's just go back to the text. All right. So what have we got? To recap, let's go back to the set. Right, questions. Inks. Can we use oxide inks? That's a very good question. And here is my own opinion. Can we use oxide inks? What's the difference? We're going to use oxide inks when we do the Bowwob, the transfer with a laser print, right? Yes. We're going to use oxides then. And when you look at the back here, it does use oxides here. Can we use oxides with the masks? Okay, what's the difference between oxides and not oxides? Right, so we've got the dye-based inks, like the normal distress pads. And then we've got the oxides, which are chalky. They're more opaque. Okay, so for a stamper, they're very lovely, right? They work. They certainly work. Yes, you can use them. You'll get a different look. You'll get a different look. It will be softer. When you use dye-based inks, they are more liquid, aren't they? They're more, if I can say watery, they're waterier. And so they blend, but then so do the oxides. You'll get a chalky effect or you'll get a printed effect. Yeah, both work. In my opinion, I prefer working with the masks and the brushes. I prefer to work with the normal distress inks. Okay, that's not to say you can't use oxides, But I will be using, when I'm doing the masks, I'll be using the normal ones. You can mix them up. You really can as well. But just know that when you're using oxides, it's chalkier. So it won't be as vibrant or bright. That's the bottom line. I think that answers that question. So the answer is yes, you can use oxides, but I'm going to be using the other ones, the inky ones, because I find when you're blending the colors, they blend better. But that's just my thoughts on it. Okay, so let me see. That's a good question. Thank you for asking it. And thank you for feeding that question to me. Now, let me just go. I'm going to go now to a couple of other little things. This is important. When you're enrolling in this course, let me just bring up that information there. When you're enrolling in this course, we send you this little booklet with some extra masks. If you buy the stamps that we've just looked at, you get an extra mask with each set. That's true too. Just in case you want to practice or you really want to try this out, you might want to look at these two. So these are a pack of masks. You get all of the masks for all of the stamp sets repeated. You're getting a spare basically, right? This might be worth looking at, you know, that page I was talking about. So you can get them individually. These are the new ones, 31765. These are the original ones that we're going to be using, 31721. If you buy both together, the quote, get a pen, 31796. And that gives you all the masks. Let me show you what I'm talking about. These are 4x4". And you can see here, when you get that set, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get all 5 masks in that pack. And in the other pack, you get the other 2. So then you've got all 7 in the set. Okay, that was the one thing I did want to show you, that's available too if you want extra masks. Now, what I also talked about earlier on was that rather than do the mask, do the mask, do the mask, and then stamp over the top, we've also got these printed landscapes where I did them, I made them, and then we handed them off to Lisa, and she printed them out for us like Polaroid prints. This is a really good idea if you want to practice your stamping skills, okay? Rather than go onto a proper inked background, use a pre-printed one, yeah? And it's not cheating, it's just, it's for confidence building, really, I would call it, because you can practice on these postcards. We're calling them toppers and tags. And when I did them originally, I'll show you. These are the original ones, right? There we are. Look, you see? So these are the original ones. And this is the other thing about the masks that I'm going to show you is how you can extend them. See, they come as a 4x4, but I'm going to show you how you can extend them. All this stuff is going to be covered in the course. And also, look, this is cool, how you can take a landscape like that. That is exactly the same as that, except here I've turned that little area into water. You wouldn't have thought that that was the same as that, would you? But it is. And that's the kind of thing that we're going to wrap around. When I said we're going to kind of go off down a side street, there's the side street right there. So when we're tackling those masks, it may be a good idea to treat yourself to, just saying, right, with your additional 10% discount code, a few extra sets of masks and the landscapes by Barbara, the toppers, 31775. I think that these are a godsend. They are, okay? Because, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to learn how to make them, yeah? It's like tying your shoelaces. Velcro shoes are great and they're fast, but really we do need to learn how to tie our laces too. And for me, it's the same. It's great to have the toppers and tags, but having said that, I'll show you. I still think what a great skill set it is. There we are, you see. So they're all there, all ready for you to just stamp on top of. Look, all different colorways. Yeah, fabulous. And little tags as well. Aren't they just gorgeous? Look. So that's all included in that set. And many of you, many of you, we gave you these as a gift when it was my birthday. So you've already got these in the cupboard too. You'd think there was a plan here, wouldn't you? So they're nice. They're nice to use. Now, let me just check out what we've got because I want to show you. We've done the elephants. There are the masks. So there's the pair of masks. Okay. 31796 for that pair. And then we've also got the toppers that we're just looking at. So I'm just going to leave that there for a moment. As I said earlier as well, right, just remember the pre-record can be watched many, many times. You know, when you are watching the sorry, I've lost my thread. Let me just take that away. Right, I'm back. Okay, so that's the postcards. When you enroll, let's go right back to the start, just to recap. When you enroll, you are going to receive the booklet with the little pack of toppers, tags, and a mask. Right. You're going to check what you've already got in your stash for sure. And then we're going to send you in the booklet a discount code. Then you can top up what you need because there's about a month between now and when we start. Bearing in mind, it's Wednesday the 7th, Wednesday the 14th, and Wednesday the 21st of May. So now that gives us plenty of time to get our ducks in a row and make sure we've got everything we need. Now, even if you're not available or you're busy or you've got to work on those days, it's not a problem because the pre-records are going to be there for you. As soon as the lives have been finished, the pre-record will go up for you to have access to. And they will be there for as long as you need them to be there. You get the key for life, right? And the thing about the pre-records is, of course, you can pause it, you can go again. This is how I learn. This is how it works for me, right? So you pause it, you do it, you pause it, you carry on to the next thing. You go again, you rewind. Get sick of my voice, turn the sound off, right? Pre-records are great. It's like the good old days when we used to do DVDs, really, okay? Except these are pre-recorded videos. So there you go. Don't forget, that's also available to you. And when you enroll, we will send you an invitation because we'll have your email address and we will send you an invitation, a personal invitation, an exclusive invite for you to come into the circle. And you will receive that invite on the 22nd of April. The 22nd of April. If you don't sign up before then it's not a problem. We'll sign you up as soon as you enroll. Not a problem either. You just need to make sure that you give us enough time to send you the booklet and the freebies, the little extras that we're sending you. You know, you do need that really, and you want to be able to check what you've got. So don't leave it too long, friends. I think that's important, isn't it? There we are. So I don't think I've forgotten anything. Let me just check. While I'm checking, I'm going to just flag up that just to confirm so that you know that the product code for this course is 60222. It costs £60. There's no club discount on that, but there is a 10% discount code included in the booklet that you're going to receive. Now, let me see, that 10% off all course materials, that will run for 2 months from the time of enrollment. So in other words, as soon as you sign up, that discount code will be good on all those materials for 2 months. I think that works well too. And just a note to you, Tuesday the 22nd of April is when we will open the doors into that circle. 2 lovely ladies have kindly agreed to help us, including plus myself, get in the chat with you, answer your questions inside that circle. So that group is exclusive to you then. Yep. And I think, to be honest, I've covered everything. So I hope that you do enroll. I hope that you enjoy it. And I'm sure that you've got a lot of this stuff already. And if you haven't, then be my guest and go shopping. Or have a look at what you've got in the cupboard and see what you can use instead. The course will be will cover a lot of ground, but it won't be stressful. There are no exams. It's just you and me and a few stamps having some fun with a load of like-minded people, okay? And just remember that at the heart of Clarity is the community. So wherever you are in the world, if you want to join us, then this is a perfect opportunity. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for your time. And I hope that you come along to the craft course and sign up for that. Jilly and Jane, thank you so much. And those 2 ladies are going to be helping as well in that circle group. So, you know, you're surrounded by good people who are here to help. Thanks very much. Have a great weekend. And don't forget that our Paul, he's already up at Hobbymaker, and he's set to go live at 3 o'clock this afternoon. He's on Hobbymaker from 3 o'clock until 5 o'clock, and then again at 7 o'clock till 8 o'clock, bless him. And he is with Groovy, and he is launching a brand new, beautiful set of Rosie doodle plates, all in one. Really beautiful. And they're available online already, as is the course, of course. And his presenter is also called Rosie. How nice is that? So Rosie Plates, presented by Paul and Rosie. Okay, have a great day. Have